Grace and peace, family. Grace and peace, Black family. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in, come on in, Black family. I'm trying to simulcast just very briefly here at the same time. Give me just a quick moment, Black family. A little bit of housekeeping as you come in. Please come in giving us a thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like, be sure to share. Would you do that? My name is Vicki Dillon, and I'm a proud contributor right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, the network for melanated women just like you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the broadcast today. Welcome, 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 welcome. Sorry about those little issues. Facebook for just a moment there. I want to give you some breaking news here. Want to give you some breaking news, family. We're getting ready to talk about Oprah and Gayle here in just a moment, but I do want to release to you some breaking news, Black family. I am simulcasting Facebook on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, one of our other platforms. Just before we get ready to get into our top subject, be sure to like and share. Want to give you the latest that's going on related to our brother Floyd, George Floyd. Give me just a second here. I had the news up. Give me just a moment. Here we go. I'm sorry, family. Let me sit this down because I'm trying to simulcast at the same time. Thank you so much for your patience as I get this set up to go back to the news. Thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. We've just received breaking news that the other police officers that were charged, sorry about that, in the murder of George Floyd, they have just been charged. The other officers, I just lost my thing here, but I'm getting ready to pull it back up here. The other officers that were involved in George Floyd's murder, they've been charged. We're going to get to that in just a moment. But the original officer, Derek Chauvin, his charges have been upgraded from third degree to second degree murder. For those of you that may or may not know, the Attorney General is on it now. The Attorney General is taking over the case. This is breaking news. All four former officers involved in George Floyd's killing now face charges, says Senator Amy Klobuchar. She tweeted that out. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison is increasing charges against former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin to second-degree murder in George Floyd's killing, and also charging the other three officers involved in the incident. This is according to a tweet, family, from Amy Klobuchar. You all know who she is. She was running for president of the United States. She also had some racial issues as a prosecutor where she came under fire when she was in the presidential election. We're going to be talking about Oprah and Gayle here in just a moment, but I wanted to give you the breaking news. I'm simulcasting right now very briefly on FlyNubianQueenTV.com as well as FlyNubianQueen.com, our Facebook platform. Family, give us the thumbs up. Would you be sure to like, be sure to share. I want you to make sure that you share this broadcast because we are breaking this news right here on Black Media. We're giving you the news, important news in this moment and this time. So thank you so much. So make sure that you like and that you share. Listen to this. It goes on. Ellison's official announcement is expected to come Wednesday afternoon. Actually, they're waiting for him to do a live press conference. It has not happened yet, but I wanted to give you the breaking news based on what I know so far. It goes on to say that Derek Chauvin, that's the one who had his knee pressed into Floyd's neck for nearly 9 minutes, had previously been charged with third-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter. Officers Thomas Lane and I don't know how to pronounce his last name, J.A. Kuhn, I guess, Keung, who helped restrain Floyd, and fourth officer Toy Tao, who stood near the others, were not initially charged. Of course, you all know about 2 autopsies that have been done. I'll talk more about that at another time. We know for sure that they were complicit in the murder. According to the video criminal complaint, Chauvin kept his knee on his neck. We already know all about that, but I just wanted to give you the latest on this information. According to Minnesota, it says the Minnesota Attorney General cautioned with patience. You all know that they did not initially charge him with some of those things early on. But that is the latest. That's what we know so far. Keep in mind that this is a fluid situation. So I'm sure we're going to be hearing more in the coming days. In the coming few hours, we should be hearing something from the Attorney General pretty soon. At least that's what they were expecting. So I wanted to give you the latest on that, Black family, before we get into our topic. I'm doing a special early edition of the Vicky Show today on FlyNubianQueenTV.com. I'm doing a special early edition of FlyNubianQueenTV.com today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure, family, that you come and giving us the thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like, be sure to share. The reason we ask you to do this, family, is because it helps to draw other folk into the podcast. That is so very important during this time and in these moments, that you like and that you share. Your engagement, sorry about that. Your engagement with Black media is what allows others to know what we're doing and to increase our important footprint around the world. Are you hearing me today? Welcome to the Black digital family. Facebook, I want you to get ready to come on over Facebook to FlyNubianQueenTV.com here momentarily, because I'm getting ready to go further in my discussion of our brother George Floyd, and I'm getting ready to talk about Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King, the latest on them and how they were recently shamed into discussions of our brother. And I'm going to explain to you why that's important. I'm getting ready to discuss with you why that's important. Meanwhile, if you're coming in, the latest breaking news is, according to Amy Klobuchar, a U.S. senator, she has tweeted out that all 4 former officers involved in George Floyd's killing now face charges. An imminent press conference should be forthcoming with Attorney General Keith Ellison, who recently took over the case. So thank you so much, Black family. Wanted to release that to you. My name is Vicky Dillard. I'm typically on FlyNubianQueenTV.com weekdays. So make sure that you are subscribed to the network so that you don't miss a show. You can also follow me on Instagram at VickyXDillard. Follow me on Twitter at DillardVicky. I'm always breaking news there. I'm always giving you insights and tidbits, important Black tidbits on those other platforms as well. Again, follow me on Twitter at DillardVicky. Follow me on Instagram. Also at Vicky X Dillard. Follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard. So important today. That's the latest news, family. Again, thank you so much, FlyNubianQueenTV.com, for coming in at this most unusual time. I'm doing a special early edition of the Vicky Show today, and it's important that we have these discussions. I love you all back. Every one of you that are giving, I bless your gift, and thank you for your kind words. I bless your gifts 1,000-fold. I want to start the show off in the most appropriate way for these important times that we are in right now. We are in what I've redubbed, because this is not the first time this title has been used. We are in the Great Uprisings 2020. I've also been calling it Holy Week Uprisings, or you can put hashtag HWU 2020. Why are we saying that? Prior to the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King, there were several righteous rebellions. There were several righteous uprisings amongst our people in cities around America that resulted in dozens and dozens and dozens of lives taken, thousands upon thousands upon thousands arrested, billions, millions of dollars, I should say, millions of dollars in damage. This was in the 60s, before his assassination. After his assassination, more than 100 cities went up in flames and caused all kinds of mayhem around this country. And that week of resistance, that week of Black rebellion and uprising was known in the 60s as the Holy Week Uprising. So I'm using that in this moment and this time and in this day. I want you to know, Black family, that we are dealing in a historic time. These are unusual times. There is a changing of the guard that's occurring right now in these United States of America. Somebody talk Black to me. And we are born in these times where we're experiencing the hastening of the end of the world of our open enemy. Somebody Black talk Black to me. Oh, we're holding court today. We are experiencing the fall of America. We are also experiencing the hastening, the ending of wicked white folks rule over us. Somebody talk Black to me. Thumbs up, family. Be sure to like, be sure to share. Also, don't forget to text the word Queens to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications when we go live from time to time. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I know we have constantly been dealing with much difficulty, Black family, the likes in which no other people have experienced. This Black Holocaust exceeds all others. While we acknowledge other folks have gone through difficulty and some forms of oppression, none have experienced the level and the intensity of inhumanity as we for as long as we have. Nobody fits that description. We have endured a level of hell and oppression and trauma and tyranny and murder and death and fraud, the likes of which I said no people have experienced this level of intensity for as long as we have. We're going on 466 years. We're in 465 years, nearly 5 centuries of non-stop hell and oppression by our open enemy. And while this is difficult, while this is hard, Black family, I want you to know it is also good news for us, because just like when a woman is getting ready to give birth, it's blood involved, it's pain involved, inconvenience, difficulty. But how many of you all know that it's a sign that all of that difficulty that a woman goes through to birth a child, it's because she's getting ready to birth something into the earth realm. It's because something new and beautiful is on the horizon, which is why I keep telling you, Black family, whether it looks like it or not, if you can see it right, and if you rise to the occasion right now, Black family, I can assure you, we are in our finest hour. I said we are in our finest hour. So we're just hearing about this breaking news of all of the officers being charged, upgraded charges for Derek Chauvin. But our work is not yet done. But those charges came, family, not because America's white supremacist system is intact and working well for Black folk. It's because they're mad that we initiated the tearing up of things. It's because a fire has been set. And because our open enemy only knows two things, pain and money. When they personally begin to experience pain, and when their pocketbooks, when their money is touched, and it's often their gods, that's the thing that gets their attention. Violence, which is what they inflict, which is what this is how America conquers. You know how you hear Americans always talk about all of this looting going on, all of this rebellion and stuff, and folks is violent and all this kind of stuff. What is that going to accomplish? Well, America, everything you got by bloody murder. Somebody talk black to me. America, everything you got by bloody murder and fraud and theft and violence. That is not the nature of black folk. We don't choose to operate in that way, but because your behavior and your attributes are not human, and because you have proven yourself for nearly 5 centuries to be impossible to get along with. I need you all to understand me today. Those of you that's sitting here caping for white supremacy, those of you that are sitting here trying to hug on police officers, I'm seeing some of my black soldiers in the streets hugging white soldiers, hugging white police officers, crying your heart out. That's the equivalent of you crying your heart out to a snake, to a dog, to a raccoon, to a turtle, to a bear. Those moments mean nothing. When you see your open enemy in those moments appearing to back down, it's only because of political and social and financial and economic expediency. It's not genuine. Why? Because we have almost 500 years worth of history to know how to tell time. The problem with some of you that's still trying to kumbaya with your killers is you don't know how to tell time, and you don't understand the nature of your open enemy. Your slowness. Somebody put some turtles in the comment section for me. Thumbs up, like, and share. Your slowness, you confusing your acts of kindness, you confusing your godliness and extending that to your open enemy, baby. You are doing us no favors. You're not godly. You are, in fact, acting as an enemy to your people. Your extraordinary retardedness, your slowness, your delay in recognizing that it is what the Bible calls in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, the man of sin is being revealed. I see the turtles in the comment section. Your slowness to recognize that this is what the Bible is talking about when it says first, the man of sin has to be revealed. The man of lawlessness, one translation says. White racist America has been masquerading as a man. Or shall we call them a kind of a man? Matter of fact, they call themselves mankind sometimes, don't they? Because they're a kind of a man. They're made in our image and after our likeness. Somebody talk black to me. Why do you say, Vicky, that they're made in our image and after our likeness? Because we're the original man and woman on the planet. There is no red man. There is no brown man. There is no yellow man. And there is no white man that exists that's able to come in this planet and to be able to exist on this plane, except they first have come through us. We are the original mothers and fathers of civilization. We are the direct descendants of the God, the creator, the originators of the heavens and the earth. You may not know that. That's the reason why you keep bumping your head after almost 500 years, because they've been masquerading as a man, and they are actually, their behaviors, their traits are everything other than that. You don't teach your children the art of existing with a snake, do you? Somebody black talk black to me. You don't teach your children the best way to dwell in hibernation with a bear, do you? You don't teach your children how to make a bird's nest so that you can hang out with the crows, do you? In like manner is how you need to see your enemy for purposes of survival. Your slowness to understand that is fatal. Your slowness to recognize that this is who you're dealing with has cost more Black lives. The man of sin, the man of lawlessness. 2 Thessalonians is being revealed right now. So now does it make sense? Black folks' nature is not to chop off the phallus of a man, his private parts, and keep it as a souvenir and use it for ritualistic purposes. Black folks don't string up multiple other peoples and set their bodies on fire and barbecue them and then fight over body parts that they can keep and display hearts and Black livers in your grocery stores in Georgia. They don't give Black body parts to governors as gifts. Do you know that this is a part of your very Black history? Those actions are not the actions of a man. Surrounding our brother Ahmaud Arbery. And we find other video evidence that they have been stalking and harassing him for years. There's footage out of him later, came out from 2017 that showed that they tried to unjustly tase him in 2017 for no reason. They were watching our brother before the moment that they killed him. And they were just like hunters. And they see us as prey. Your slowness to recognize that is what's unnecessarily causing us to suffer damage. You seeing them as the epitome of success to work in their companies, to appear on their television stations. I'm not tripping about those of us that are still in corporate, on the corporate plantation. What I'm trying to tell you is stop seeing it as the epitome. Make sure that while you're there, that you're putting a few dollars aside so that you can either start your own business, start your own side hustle. And if you don't feel like you're supposed to be a business owner, use your money there and you use some of your dollars to support other Black businesses, other Black schools, other Black industries. You use your funds from your corporate plantation to underwrite the efforts and the enterprise of Black liberation. I need somebody Black to talk Black to me. They're proving themselves to be impossible to get along with. And so since you're behaving like you belong outside, oh my God, somebody Black talk Black to me. Is that right? Since they are behaving like they belong outside, we are going to call you respectfully. Notice I'm not calling them out of their names. The outdoorsmen. And we are going to no longer see it as our goal to be like you and to dwell where you are. In fact, quite the opposite. This is a time, Black family, for us to begin to get out. Somebody say, get out. Oh, it's hot in here. I'm sweating. Thumbs up, like and share. We have over 1,300 plus of you in the chat right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com. We have hundreds of you on FlyNubianQueen.com on Facebook. Our show is often played on several other platforms as well. So wherever you're watching me on now or later, my name is Vicki Dillard. I'm here weekdays on FlyNubianQueenTV.com. I want you to like, I want you to share the podcast right now. Take a quick moment to give us a thumbs up, to like and share, and whatever it is on your platform that you need to do to give us a thumbs up or to like and to comment and to even give if you so choose, which we don't even beg on here. Many of you do that on your own. We want to say thank you. All of those actions, my point is, all of those actions support Black media. For those of you that are coming in Facebook, and because I'm simulcasting briefly here, and those of you that are watching me on Fly Nubian Queen TV, I broke the news a few minutes ago that all 4 officers that were involved in the open lynching of our brother George Floyd have been charged, according to U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar. I know other people are coming in and out, and so I want you to know that I just broke the news a few minutes ago that Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison is increasing charges against former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin to second-degree murder and George Floyd's killing, and also charging the other 3 officers involved in the incident, according to a tweet from U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar. I just want you all to know the situation is fluid. As we get more information, as the press conferences come, you know Black media will be here for you to break the news. I am not the only queen here. So I want you to make sure wherever you're watching me on the several platforms that I'm on, like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button, because that way you will be able to receive the updates from other queens as well. Every one of you that are giving thank you, South Cowgirl, and the others that I missed, I bless your gift 1,000 words, and whatever your kind words were, thank you so much. Let's listen. Getting out for now. Things that we can do to get out now and start your own business now. I was looking at a statistic that Dr. Boyce Watkins shared the other day. I don't know if it was on Twitter or one of those other social media platforms. And it talked about the small amount of Black folk that are actual CEOs of these major white Fortune 500 type companies. It's a very minuscule, and some of you all will say minuscule number. It's a very small number, which means that instead of you trying so badly to get white mommy and white daddy to pat you on the back and to give you an Addie boy or an Addie girl and to kiss your little nose, you need to stop seeing that as stop trying to seek their approval and think that that's the height of your career, the acme of success by working for them. No, the acme of success for Black folk is to own your own, to unite with your own, support your own. We know we're in a system of white supremacy to where we're still having to go to some of their stores and use their gas and use some of their banks and so forth. What I'm trying to say is that you have to also be very strategic and methodical and say that a portion of what you get, you're going to add another brick to the building of Black homes, Black schools, Black industries, and Black businesses. That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying to you, if you don't start now, that foundation, that reality, and that world won't be realized until further and further on down the road. Because so many of you all are saying, well, that ain't possible right now. That's ridiculous. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because you've not taken any action yet. And just like you don't get a harvest except you first sow the seed. The seed is small. But once you sow the seed in the earth and that thing is nurtured over time, it can produce a bumper crop. Yes, we're on some of these social media platforms, but we also have our own Black social media platform at blaggenuff.com. Somebody put that in the chat. Blaggenuff.com. BLAGGENUF.com. Our moderators will have that in the chat here momentarily. Blaggenuff.com. It's a play on the word Black enough. We have our own website, flynubianqueen.com, that we always tell you to subscribe to. We have our own digital school, flynubianbusiness.com, and theblackbusinessschool.com. Somebody put in the chat, theblackbusinessschool.com. Do you know that that school has tens of thousands of black students at theblackbusinessschool.com, where you learn from all kinds of black folks to teach you about business and about finances and about your credit and about real estate and about investments? We also utilize these other social media platforms because this is where you are, and we're trying to reach as many of you as possible while simultaneously building our own. Shout out to you, Paul Foreman. He says the truth hurts, but sometimes it's necessary. Yes, beloved. 1,400 plus of you in the chat. Welcome to the Vicky Show. We're so pleased that you're with us today. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. This is a special edition of the Early Vicky Show. I just broke some news about all 4 officers are being charged that were accomplices and that were complicit in the open lynching and murder of our brother George Floyd. Let me tell you guys something right now as you thumbs up and as you like it, as you share. As you're listening to me right now, everybody, I want you to take action. Thumbs up, like, share, comment, whatever it is on your platform that you're watching me on. Because we're on more than one platform. Share it. Hit the link at the bottom. Copy the link and copy the link out onto your social media platforms, as well as text it and email it or what have you. Listen, I want to let you know, because I think some of our people are confused, real bad confused. And I want to say this because some of you all are going to be hearing these things, and some of you may have said some of these misguided statements, these wildly ignorant statements. Why we got to destroy stuff in our own communities? But why we got to be violent back? What this gonna accomplish? The question is not what is this going to accomplish, even though we have a lot of proof that shows you that the reason why they're being charged and the reason why, do you all know that there are riots and there are rebellions and uprisings taking place all over the world in solidarity to Black foundational Americans? Do you all know that because you, and do you all know that it was a lot of Black women that was first initially bringing a whole lot of attention to the injustice of George Floyd and others, right? But it's not just the sisters, it's brothers as well. But I'm saying initially they're on the scene with this, right? Just a small little group of them with their signs bringing attention to the murder of our brother. But do you all know right now this thing has gained so much momentum and so much traction that everybody is out there bragging about it's the rainbow that's out there. It's all people of color that's holding hands and that's joining in and that's protesting. Let me tell you something. Foundational Black Americans, the grassroots Blacks in America, we do what we've always done. We're inspiring the world by our pushback, by our refusal to accept our murder and death and disenfranchisement as normal. We have determined, we have declared it's a new day. We have determined, we have decided enough is enough. And we're not going back to so-called normal Black family. We're not going to say just because they're charged, we're going to go back to working in all of their corporations. We're going to go back to things as normal. We're going to be more organized and more unified and more aggressive in our unity and our determination to get as far away from these people as possible, because their history shows us, their nature shows us that when the conditions are right, they're going to go back to being themselves, and we are not going to take a chance on that. I don't want no weak, mealy mouth, moist, lip-wristed Negroes out there saying anything other than us building for ourselves and us never going back to that stuff again. Somebody say never again. Some of you all are used to hearing white Jewish people say never again after their Holocaust. Their Holocaust lasted a few years. When you compare it to the Black Holocaust, the Holocaust that exceeds all others in terms of its length and its severity, somebody say never again. Corzetta says, you speak the truth. Thank you so much. You're welcome, beloved. It's so many of you that have been giving and saying kind words. I bless your gifts 1,000-fold. 1,500 plus of you in the chat. Welcome to an early special edition of the Vicky Show. I broke the news a few minutes ago that all 4 officers have been charged. More information is forthcoming in the George Floyd case. Let me tell you something before I get into this other stuff. Never again. That's our statement. Make that go viral. Hashtag HWU 2020. That's for Holy Week Uprising. And then hashtag never again. Don't you get so comfortable, black man and black woman. Don't you be so politically immature and you so emotional that you go running back into the arms of your killers because you can't get your emotions in check. Killer Mike. You get caught up in the ecstasy of the moment of whiteness. You get drunk and high off of whiteness when you're in their presence, and you get so excited and get so raptured in your emotions when you're with them that you forget all about your murders. You forget all about the fact that they chopped off of your phalluses. They used their phalluses in order to butt break and rape your fathers and rape your mothers and impregnate them and to murder us and to set us on fire and to poison our waters and to give us vaccines that are having catastrophic effects on black folks and to come up with all kinds of evil that black folks can never know the depths of. Don't you dare! And because some of you need to be in coon rehab. Some of you need to be in coon rehab to get it all out of your system because you are addicted. Because you're addicted. Looks like I lost my family on Facebook. Because you're addicted. Grace and peace, black folks. Because you're addicted to whiteness. Because you're addicted to that approval. We got to throw your funny looking self in coon rehab so that you can throw it all up. Release it all out of your backsides. Get all the white supremacist shakes and the inner slave out you. You need somewhere to go to get all of that out of your system. One of the things you can continue to do is to keep listening to the Vicky Show on FlyNubianQueenTV.com. Shameless plug. What you can continue to do is to listen to other folk that some of you may consider to be even more informative or more your style than I, that's telling you the truth. Listening to the great Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Listening to our brother Dr. Claude Anderson. Reading such books as The ISIS Papers, The Keys to the Colors, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. May she rest in power. That's what's going to help you get all of that out your system. It's a new day, family. We will not go back to normal. And the only thing that's going to ensure you not getting caught up in the rapture of whiteness and you getting drunk and forget about the job of black liberation is if you separate yourself. That makes you less susceptible to being caught in white supremacist traps. How many of you all know that when an undeveloped child is born, when they're born prematurely, that they have to oftentimes go into incubation? Why, family? Why does an immature baby, a not fully formed child in a mother's womb, why do they have to be incubated? Somebody talk black to me. Why do they have to be incubated, black family? Are you all hearing me? Why? Because they need to be in an environment where they can properly develop themselves. Thank you, D-Lise. As always, I always bring facts. Thank you, beloved, for your kind words, and thank you all for your gifts. 1,600 plus of you in the chat. Welcome to the Vicky Show. I'm so pleased that you are with us today. My name is Vicky Dillon. I'm so pleased that you've joined us for an early edition of the Vicky Show. I may not be long, but I'm definitely going to be strong. As you come in, please come on in, giving us a thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like and share. Be sure to like and share. Don't forget to text the word Queens to 31996. If you're coming in at the end of the show, I want you to make sure that you check the beginning of the show. On the count of three, for those of you that haven't. On the count of three, for those of you that haven't, hit that thumbs up button, hit that notification bell at the same time. Before I go further, are you ready? 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, black family. We do this, as I mentioned before, because we want to draw more of our people. We want to elevate our own voice. See, we have to be strategic in what we do here. We don't have the funds right now in the infrastructure of a CNN or MSNBC or Fox News. But we can still make inroads and be effective in using alternative media, doing just what you're doing. Shout out to you, Candy, for your very gracious gift. She says, cohabilitation. Yes, right, beloved. Your gift moves so fast through there, beloved. I couldn't even see the rest of what you said. Let me see. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. Make sure that you share this breaking news and that you share this out as I go further here. As I go further here. This is so keenly important for these times and this day that we're in. What did our sister say? Yes, cohabilitation. Vicky, I love the teaching and preaching you do. Oh, thank you. Thanks be to the Most High. Hit the gavel one more time for me. I sure will. That's for you, beloved. Listen, family. Listen, listen. We are having an effect. Let me say this other part a few minutes ago. Remember I told you all you're going to hear folks talk about people of all colors and all this other kind of stuff that's going to come out saying this. And let me tell you something. Some of the white folks that you see coming out right now, some of the white folks that you see coming out right now are not coming out, family, because they're actually concerned about the plight of black folk. Some of the folks that are coming out right now are humiliated. They know that something is wrong with them. And because it looks really bad, and because they know that black folks, more and more of us and more people around the world are continuously sensing that something is wrong with this people, that after 500 years, we still can't get along with y'all, and y'all still wilding out. How many of you all know, I'm 41 years of age. I'm from Mississippi. When I was growing up, I live in the wild, wild west right now, but I'm born and raised in Mississippi, 41 years of age. Growing up, they used to say so-and-so is wilding out. See, when you act other than a human, when you're acting like you're an animal or something, they say you wilding out. See, that's what white racist America has been doing, wilding out. And so America is trying to obstruct our detectors to know something still ain't right with y'all. Some of them are out there is because they're humiliated and embarrassed. And so because they don't want you to know that it's really something inherently by nature wrong with them, they're trying to throw you off by acting as if they're standing in solidarity with you. Now, don't get me wrong. There may be a few, couple of three. I know this old man that used to say, he didn't used to say 2 or 3. He would say couple 3. Just call it, it's a part of the dictionary right now. It's a part of the dictionary. If you don't know what the dictionary is, I'm sure one of my family members in the chat will tell you what the dictionary is. Listen. They know they're looking really bad right now. And they don't want to experience the just wrath that they are due. Oh my God. Did you all hear what I just said? Shout out to you, Crystal. They're trying to lessen the blow of the judgment that's coming due. They sense that something big is imminent. Their statisticians, their demographers, their scientists have already told them that their numbers are diminishing. White folks know that they're getting ready to get out of here, not because black folk are taking them out, but because just by nature, their makeup, their physical, biological constitution is not sustaining them. So one of the reasons we're seeing some of the attempts to take us out on a political and a scientific level in particular, they're trying to make sure that the world doesn't continue to get darker and darker, even though we outnumber them. The darker people of the world outnumbers the white folks 11-1 around the world. But in America, it seems that we are the minority. But they know they're getting ready to get out of here. And so in order to lessen the blow, they're trying to take you out on a conscious and subconscious level. That's making some of them nervous. Some of them that's standing in solidarity with you. Some of them that's tearing up stuff. Some of them, as you all know, some of you all know, we've been talking about some of the white provocateurs. Let me tell y'all something. Shut up. You have to understand how universal laws work. We are the ones that set this in motion. Don't you let them for 1 second let you think that black folks are not the ones that first started resisting and started pushing back. But when you see white folks out here setting off Molotov cocktails and setting stuff on fire, the universal law lets you know that they will turn in on themselves. They will begin to destroy themselves. Lord have mercy. Shout out to you, Monique. God will allow the systems that have harmed his chosen people, that is a black man and the black woman in America, and by extension around the world, he will let the systems that harm you turn in on themselves. It's bigger than George Floyd. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than you. Some of you talking about, well, I'll forgive him. Shut up, nut. It's bigger than your cooning self. Let me put you in coon rehab. Throw all that inner slave up out you. Get them shakes out you. This is bigger than just one individual. There are certain things that start to help things gain momentum, but the ancestors are on deck. The God is present in the earth. And who are you to get in the way of it with your cooning? Sit your funny looking self down. If God has shown us the example, for those of you that subscribe to the powerful principles in scripture, knowing that the white man has tampered with them, but there are still gems in it. Get your interpretation of it now from us, not the open enemy. That's the problem. When you get your insight and your interpretation of the scriptures from your open enemy who tampered with it and who kept it from you. Yes, he's going to tell you that God is up there in the sky and your Jesus is a white man, blonde hair, blue eyes with stringy hair. When you let your open enemy tell you that the devil is anybody and anything other than them, oh my God. Then that's why your confused self. Let the church say amen. The example and the pattern in scripture is that God himself said in Genesis, when he was talking to Abraham, he said, I will judge that nation. That comes and oppresses my people. He said after 400 years. Somebody say he says after 400 years. There's only one group of people that fits that description. When the Bible is talking, it's prophesying about you. It speaks in code. It speaks in algorithm. Sister Vicky is here to help you decode who that is. It's talking about you. Right now, you don't look like yourself. You've been made other than yourself because you have been in the environment, or you've been in the womb of your open enemy. In the womb of your open enemy, which means that when you are birthed, you act like your open enemy, which is why I'm telling you that the only solution and the only hope for Black folk to get on our feet like we should is to separate, is to incubate so that we can develop and become strong outside of the environs, outside of the influence, outside of the climate of our open enemy. Somebody talk Black to me. 1,700 plus of you in the chat. Welcome to the Vicky Show. Come on in, giving us a thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like and share. Every single one of you, make sure that you hit that notification bell. Every single one of you, make sure that you hit that notification bell. Every single one of you also know, connect with us so that if you can start your own business, your own side hustle. The economic base is a must if we're going to get freer. FlyNubianBusiness.com. We're giving you solutions here. We're giving you actionable knowledge. We can start building brick by brick, one brick at a time. When you take these actions, even not for yourself, if not for yourself, for your children and those that come behind you. So let me get back to this other quick point that I was saying after I just broke the news. I'm supposed to be talking about Oprah and Gayle, which I'm probably going to get into in just a little bit, or even at a later time. But I was breaking the news, Black family. For those of you that may not know right now, as I started the show by saying that all 4 officers that were involved in the murder of our brother, George Floyd, they're being charged. Kim, thank you for your personal gift. I bless your personal gift, Kim, 1,000-fold. Thank you so much. That's a part of the breaking news, Black family, for those of you that may or may not know. More information is coming. The situation is fluid right now. So as they have more press conferences and as we get more information, you know that not only myself, but other queens here, we're going to be giving you information and let you know the latest. Make sure you decide that you're going to make it your business to hear the perspective of Black people on FlyNubianQueenTV.com and other powerful networks as well. Now, let me say this to you. I don't mean to say that no other people, no white folks are well-meaning, but I'm saying that they can be most effective if they take their funny-looking selves down to the White House or to Congress and tell white Congress to pass reparations. That's how other white folks can be an ally. They can use their privilege and their dollars to have laws changed. They should be pressing. They should make sure that any of the prospective jurors and all of the political folks and all of the legal minds that are involved in our brother's case do the right thing. They should be setting the tone for that. And let me tell you something else that's getting on my nerves that we need to stop permitting. How many of you all know how many shows that you've seen right now on all of the white supremacist networks where they are bringing in everybody from the NAACP, they're bringing everybody from Black Lives Matter, they're bringing everybody from all of these so-called Black groups, members from the Congressional Black Caucus, are they not? And what are white reporters saying? They're saying, so what are you guys going to do about this? What legislation is the CBC? What is the Congressional Black Caucus going to push? They're asking Black activists, where do we go from here? I want you to know from the Vicky Show, from real Black media and real media, period. And don't y'all get this twisted. Don't get this twisted. Let me take my time and what I'm getting ready to say. Don't miss what I'm going to say to you. Don't miss what I'm fixing to say to you. The people who are causing us everlasting hell since seemingly time immemorial, got a hell of a nerve to ask us, what are we going to do about their buck wild, outdoorsman, animalistic, beastly behaviors? What are we going to do about their madness? Is it just me, or do you all not find that strange when you find reporters asking us, where do we go from here? What are we going to do? What reforms are you guys going to propose? We are under no obligation to do nothing about this, America. We are no longer going to give you the privilege of all of our inventions, our intellectual property, our physical labor, our beauty, our glory to make a whole world that's known as America. We're no longer going to do that. We're getting ready to build our own. We're not in the business of kumbayaing and giving them insight and stuff that they can do so that they can have the political head over us, the economic head over us. Did you hear what I just said? We don't have to do nothing. We don't have to come up with any kind of solutions. We don't need to tell you about how the police need to have best practices. We don't need to hear nothing about new training. We don't have any obligation to say nothing. You understand when we start when stuff is set on fire, the only thing y'all understand is your own nature. I'm here to tell all Black people to simply hush. We've already told you what we're demanding. Joe Biden, cut the check. All America can do right now is show us the money and get away from us. Quit sitting up there, Black family, because you're excited, because you know how to explain stuff well. Somebody talk Black to me. Shakir Shabazz says, teach queen. Thank you, beloved. Thank all of you. I've missed so many of you that have been giving. I bless your gifts 1,000-fold. Thank you, Velma. Listen, 1,700 plus of you in the chat. Welcome to an early special edition of The Vicky Show. Thumbs up, like, and share. Stop talking so much. Black professors, Black pundits, Black talking heads are so excited to get on these white shows to explain stuff to outdoorsmen. Would you spend your time, Black family, giving a 10-point plan to a snake? Then I submit to you, if you wouldn't do it for a snake or a chinchilla, then stop doing it for your open enemy, who has been doing nothing but giving us hell for 500 years. The only language they seem to understand now is fire. Fire doesn't just destroy. Oh my God. Fire doesn't just destroy. Fire purifies. All you can do for us is cut the check. Thief. 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 You thief. You thieves. You killers. You liars. You murderers. The only thing you can do is cut the check so we can get away from you. So we can build our own. It's too late. You guys want us. They're holding your hands on the front line, some of them. They're getting on their knees. Did y'all see pictures of police officers getting on their knees talking about they're going to bend their knee when a majority of white Americans, both Democrats and Republicans, agreed. A large majority of Americans disagreed with Colin Kaepernick taking the knee. Now y'all taking the knee. Baby, let me tell you something. America is doing that, y'all, because they're trying to make sure that black folks stay close to them because they know the judgment is near. And if you fool enough to do it, then you're going to experience the other plagues that's coming on America. If you thought COVID-19 was something, baby, it's just the beginning of plagues. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. My moderator, beloved, I don't usually tell my own cash app, my own personal cash app out loud. My moderator is putting that information in the chat. So if you want that information, they'll tell you, but I don't usually say that over the air. Usually I don't usually do that. But thank those of you that are supporting the network as well. Just know that your resources, your $25, your $50, your $75, your $10, your $5, we're taking all of those things, reinvesting them right back into this network so that we can be a voice for our own people. Are you hearing me today? So from now on, I want y'all to understand that some of these police officers, white officers that claim that they're so patriotic and they have such a hard job as police officers, some of them that's signing up for the military, some of them are not doing that because they're trying to just be patriotic. Some of them, their nature, some of them is a bloodshedder. The nature for a lot of them is a bloodshedder. They like to be police so that they can shed blood and tell you what to do under color of law. They want to be able to legally kill you. That's why some of them do it. Jamal said, bless you, goddess. Thank you, beloved. I receive your kind words. I receive the blessing. You don't know the nature of your open enemy that gets close to you. And then your heart starts to melt. That's your inner slave melting. Go to Coon Rehab. We got a rehab for you. The rehab is listen to back Vicky shows. Lock yourself in a closet somewhere and let me holler and scream at you for 48 hours. By the way, I'm drinking out of my Queen mug. You can get yours at our store, shopfnq.com. That's shopfnq.com. I'm watching Attorney Benjamin Crump trying to shame America with moving words. He means well on some of the stuff that he does. I'm not here to dog out Benjamin Crump and Attorney Lee Merritt, even though I disagree with some of their tactics. But what I mean is I'm seeing Attorney Crump, for example, talk about memorials and talk about, when you see the young girl, when she comes there, the families need to have a voice, number one, to speak, right? Floyd's family have the right to make their voices heard because of their loved ones. But if we go to trying to tell America, we're just like you. America, let me tell you something. You cannot shame a dog. Oh my God. You cannot shame a shark because it's an issue. It's a situation about a nature of a thing. It won't last long. I'm not disrespecting our brother trying to stand up for the family. I'm simply saying it's a futile task because America cannot be shamed when your nature is a bloodshedder, when your nature is a killer. I know some of y'all may not like what I'm saying, but you can't prove it any different. I'm proving this in no limit of time. Your observations over just the last couple of weeks gives you something to reflect on. Don't be tricked by these white protesters. And some of you all are talking about they messing up. They taking away from what we're saying. No, they're not. They're being themselves. They're destroying their stuff because, number one, it never was theirs in the first place. We built this country for free. And those of our people that's out there doing the work that might be burning it down, what you got to say about it? Did you pay for America? Anybody else? Who paid for America but us? Wait, who paid for America? Shout out to my sister Tamika Mallory. I know she's gotten a lot of traction for saying that America has been looters and stuff. Of course, we were saying it on the Vicky show before they were. We've been talking black for a long time. My message is clear. It's been consistent. I've been giving you the history of America, and we've been using, those are our talking points that we've been using in black media for a long time. I'm glad our message is being elevated now. And you don't see me mixing my message with no LGBTQ stuff, no immigration stuff, no so-called women's rights stuff, and all these other things. It's black first, and unless and until black folks' issues are dealt with, I can't even see no other issue. I can't even see any other issue. All I can see is black. All I can see is black. Pamela, I like what you say. Mama didn't raise no food. That's right, beloved. Bless all of you that's giving to FlyNewBeQueenTV.com and supporting black media. I bless your gifts 1,000-fold, 1,900 plus of you. Looks like at one time we had in the chat, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Welcome to a special and early edition of the Vicky Show. Make sure that you like and share. Make sure every single one of you right now on the count of 3, hit the notification bell. Make sure that you're subscribed, okay? 1, 2, 3, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Notification bell, hit all notifications, and subscribe. There was 3 different things I asked you to do. 3 different things I asked you to do. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thank you so much. Watch this. Watch this. Now let me skip real quick. I'm not going to be here all day. I'm going to say this real quick and I'm going to be out. Can you all hang out with me for a minute? Can you give me just a quick moment? Remember, I was supposed to come talk to you about one thing. I haven't talked about that thing at all yet. Well, I have been, but indirectly. I have been, but indirectly. You all know that I have been doing back to back to back, let's just call it series, on these leagues, on the League of Mammies. Somebody say League of Mammies. Don't use the word too much in the comment section because I don't know, we're going to be wise. Substitute the A for something else. These League of Mammies. At the helm of this League of Mammies is none other than the Oprah Winfreys of the world and the Kale Kings. Somebody say Oprah and Kale. Somebody say Oprah and Kale. Somebody say Oprah and Kale. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Can you all give me just another quick moment, family? I know some of you on your lunch breaks, keep your little earbuds in your ear. They can't tell. Some of you are still in quarantine and working from home. Keep listening. This is going to change your life. You need this kind of insight. Never take for granted any of the topics that the Vicky Show is talking about. Why do I say that? Because you don't know what nugget or what piece of the white supremacist puzzle that you're going to need. Insight on white supremacy as a defense that you're going to be able to use as in the army of black people. It can be used defensively and offensively. You don't know what might spark some other kind of idea. You know how many parents, how many folk I hear from that tell me that their children are listening? Do you know how many folks have reached out to me to give me literal testimonies of stuff that happens in their life because of them listening to the Vicky Show? This is what I'm born to do. And no autoimmune illness that I'm dealing with right now can stop it. Because before there was a quarantine, I've been quarantined. Can't leave home for days at a time because of the illness. But I get to use a laptop and a cell phone to reach the world. Somebody talk black to me. I'm not only blessed that thousands of people are listening to me. Some of the platforms I'm on, the potential to reach over 1 million people a week. Some of the places that I'm on collectively. I'm honored about that. But I'm even more honored about the quality of people. Who's listening? Who's going to bust a move? That's going to take the Black nation into a greater place. That's going to help us move into our promised land. Back to these League of Mammies. Real quick, I'm not going to be before you long. Because I've already given you a lot of breaking news and a lot of other information that you needed to know. You don't know what you might need to know at whatever time. So make it your business. I'm normally here at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, but sometimes I go early because it's easier for me sometimes if I've got some medical stuff that I need to do later on. So that's why I say just make sure that you're subscribed and make sure that you check on a regular basis. Just check on a daily basis for the Vicky Show. Not just me. I'm not the only queen here. There are others. There are so many others whose content the network is uploading, and we're just getting started. So make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss them. Listen. You all know I've done several shows on Oprah Winfrey, Oprah and Gayle. Let me say her name right, Oprah and Gayle. And it's fascinating because I heard folks from the Black media using that phrase to describe them. And even though this may not have been their intention, I think it's something profound to call them okra and kale, because when you think of okra, don't you think of like down south, Jim Crow? Doesn't the plantation just come to mind? That's on the one hand for okra, Oprah. But then when you invoke Gayle, better known as kale, kale is typically a vegetable that we would say a lot of white folks eat. Now, we know a lot of Black folks tend to eat kale and stuff like that too. I don't eat kale anymore like that because I'm told by some Black medical folk that it's not the best for the Black system. But I'm not fixing to get off into that. Do what you do, because I still eat chicken. I eat chicken fried sometimes, as long with my fruits and vegetables and stuff. And nobody in the world can shame me out of that. That's just me. Do what you do. Get your exercise. I do my little fruits and vegetables and stuff, those that I can, because some stuff, even that, I can't take a lot of that because of my autoimmune illness and stuff. But I do my little my little herbs and stuff, natural herbs and stuff, and my little supplements and stuff. Listen, the kale part makes you think of white folk. That's a good thing as it relates to okra and kale, because that's that element where we're dealing with the down south Jim Crow mammy element. But calling her kale also invokes who they're trying to please, which is white folks. Did y'all catch that revelation? Did you catch that okra and kale revelation that I just gave you? Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Listen. So one of my beautiful supporters asked me, did I hear this with okra and kale? Because they know that I do back-to-back series on these women. Why do I talk about okra and kale? Because they have done great damage over decades. Oprah, as the queen of talk, did more to set the environment for anti-Blackness on behalf of white people than any white supremacist could have ever done in 15 and 30 lifetimes. Did you hear what I said? They've been silent on issues that matter to us. They failed to use their access to millions and millions of the most powerful people on the planet to do Black revolutionary work. We get to call them out about that because we're at war. We get to call them out about that because Black folks are dying. And when some of our people reach a certain level, they have a responsibility in war to do right by the side that they ought to be representing. And when we realize that you're doing the bidding of white supremacy, and at the same time, you're doing damage to black people, we submit to you, we're going to give you this work. So the League of Mammies, who we've been exposing, came out and did what they've never done. Somebody say, shout out to the black grassroots. That's because we have been humiliating them. We've been calling them out. And over time, we've gotten stronger. And Oprah and Gayle, who were once untouchable. Why? Because they were white assets. Because they were white supremacist assets, they were untouched. You see, white folks sometimes come out to support them and to defend them because they are a benefit to them. But because of platforms like this one, shows like this one, voices like this one, our collective black voice, I said our collective black voice, have been exposing that they were a weapon against black people. So Oprah and Gayle comes out and thanks first and foremost to us, we shame them into making a statement about George Floyd. Now, I want you to look at these two struggling mammies of the highest order. It is my hope, and it's also a part of my destiny, to ensure that the reign of these mammies ends sooner rather than later. It is my express mission to ensure that they are the last of the Mohicans. I know some of the other ones trying to pop up like the Lonnie Loves. Like this little funny looking girl came out here recently, Trina, whatever her name is. These little ratchets and stuff. And this young lady named B. Simone. I like some of the B. Simone, she may mean well. She's a comedian, but she's kind of ratchet. B. Simone came out and said something that's crazy. White supremacy does well when they have black women to help. We're not the help no more. And I'm going to have to call some of you all out, sis. Don't come on here talking about Vicky, she's attacking another black woman. I don't call them black women. When you act as enemies to your people, I call you an enemy. You don't get to be called a black woman. That's a deflection. Whoopi, Susan Rice, Keisha Bottoms, Joy Reid, Simone Sanders and them. These leagues of mammies. This is about to be the last of the mammy Mohicans. So we've been putting in this work over quite a bit of period of time, right? Well, guess what? Somebody else on one of these white mainstream media outlets called them out recently. But let me just show you what Oprah and Gayle did recently. 2,000 plus of you in the chat. Welcome to the Vicky Show. It's an honor and a privilege to be before you. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard and follow me on Twitter at Dillard Vicky. I'll be showing out on Twitter. I break news on Twitter. I do all kind of stuff out there because nuts out there floating on the whole other level on Twitter. So follow me on Twitter at Dillard Vicky and also follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard. Listen, I want you to see this. This is Oprah and Gayle. Follow me on Twitter at Dillard Vicky. I'll be showing out. Oh, watch this. I didn't even know that was on. I'm getting some feedback. I want you to see this. Oprah and Gayle conducted a Zoom. Watch this.
But here's the thing that people don't understand who say, well, that didn't have anything to do with me, racism today, and that wasn't my country. Here, it's as simple as this. There's the micro and there's the macro. In your own personal life, if somebody did you wrong, if you were raised in a family of alcoholics, your father was an alcoholic, your mother was an alcoholic, you didn't get what you needed, you weren't offered the nurturing and support that you felt that you deserved, there was dysfunction in your family, you cannot move forward until that is acknowledged. Is that true? It's true. And the same thing is true in the micro is true in the macro. There can't be a moving forward until there is an acknowledgement of what has actually occurred and continues to occur systemically in this country. So everybody who keeps saying, oh no, it isn't, oh no, it isn't, that's why you have the videos so that now you can see it. So you take your outrage and you use it. You take your outrage and you use it to work to dismantle the constructs of the injustice that continues.
Black and white. This is what gets me. This is
well, it's only going to happen until all people come together, because Black people already know it.
That's so exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. Because I know this is black and white, and this was clearly race when I look at this, and anybody with two eyes sees race too. But it really should be a humane and about humanity. It's really, that's why people everywhere should be outraged. They're not going to take this anymore. We're not. Yeah. It should be about the humanity of all.
Did Cal just say we're not going to take this anymore? Did Oprah just say that this is systemic? I would like to remind you all that Cal King most recently did an interview with Lisa Leslie, a Black woman who was a very good friend of Kobe Bryant, to bring up a discredited and libelous sexual assault claim in his death while he was not even yet buried. And it took his Black friend in the middle of the interview, Lisa Leslie, to check Gayle. May I remind you, that was just the other day. May I remind you that they have a pattern of disgracing the legacy of Black men. In their death, called to the stand Oprah Winfrey. How many of you all remember when Oprah spit on the grave of Michael Jackson after he has been dead almost a decade? And she helped to try to legitimize his proven liars who had contrary statements under oath in court. And Michael Jackson went through trial on a state level, a long trial, and they came back with a not guilty verdict. And on the federal level, the feds investigated Michael Jackson also, and they couldn't come up with anything. And Oprah, in his death, Oprah, who claimed to be his friend, slandered him in death. Both of these mammies of the highest order. They're not just no regular classified mammy. Their mammy status is at a level that's almost unreachable to most people. It's impossible to outrank their mammyism. But they were shamed into opening up their mouth. What changed after all this time? After we helped to humiliate Gayle King, when Gayle King tried to induce her white girl's tears, to pretend like Snoop Dogg was actually threatening her or somebody else, we busted that up. When Gayle and Oprah didn't get all the play that they had hoped to get. They couldn't believe. They thought after all this time they had been untouched for so many decades. They've been throwing Black folk under the bus. Gayle got her $11 million contract. Gayle gained favor with the white network because of the job she did against R. Kelly. They used that Black man to throw under the bus and try to make him the face of sexual predation, when all Gayle needed to do was to call her former co-host, Charlie Rose, and get him to do some interviews. They have a whole host of top white network heads, executives, and owners. They had an entire Catholic church and other middle-aged white men to choose from. They had a whole host of white politicians and corporate execs to choose from. But they chose to do shows on black men to try to make them the face of criminality, of deviancy. That's why I call them mammies of the highest order. So what made them wake up? Well, we've been giving them this work. How many of you all remember when I did a show and I read to you all from a biography on Oprah, how when she was even in college, she considered black folks in the 60s that were fighting for justice to be militant. And she called them angry and militant. She was disgusted by them. And she talked about how she hated being in her historically black college and university because of those black folks that were always angry and militant because they were standing against injustice. Oprah was a prime coon. Somebody talk black to me. How many of you all remember when we were calling Oprah out about interviewing those liars against Michael Jackson? That Oprah went on the record and said she's been getting so much quote unquote hateration. And folks feel like that she's bringing down the black man. She literally said that. She knew what she was doing, but she was willing to throw us under the bus. She was willing to upset us and anger us. For who? For the pleasure of white folk and white networks. I'm talking facts. But we're not the only ones. Guess who's joined us recently in shaming Oprah and Gayle? Are y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for this? Guess who recently came out and shamed Oprah? Thumbs up, thumbs up. 2,000 plus of you, 2,100 of you at one time that was in the chat. Welcome to the Vicky Show. Thank you for showing up. Thousands of you for an early edition of the Vicky Show. Give me just a few more moments here. I'm almost done. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. Like and share. Don't forget, family, to check out our store at shopfnq.com. And also don't forget to check out our business school at flynubianbusiness.com. That's flynubianbusiness.com. If you want to learn how to build your black side hustle or business, reach out to us there. Listen, Don Lemon, who is Don Lemon, Lemonade, Don Lemon. He talks some good stuff sometimes. He elevates some black issues. But I ain't confused about the network he works for and some of the other things that we know he capes for and represents. But you know it's bad when Don Lemon has to call you out. Watch this. Y'all think I'm lying? I know y'all don't think I'm lying. Y'all know Vicky don't tell. Y'all know I just tell you the truth. Y'all know I don't play about that. Watch this. Listen. What does this headline say? Can you read that? What does that headline say? CNN anchor Don Lemon calls to Ellen DeGeneres, Oprah Winfrey, Drake, and more over George Floyd protest. Somebody else just said that they saw it. You know you must be really bad. You must be really missing it when it takes a Don Lemonade to call you out, Oprah, when we've been begging you to use your mighty platform that you never would have gotten without us. Remember how Oprah's show in the beginning, she exploited black folks in the beginning of her show. That's how she came to fame. And once she reached a certain level, that's when she began to use us, ignore us, and start to cater to white people. The link is in the chat. Shout out to my chief moderator. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Also, I want to give you breaking news while I'm talking to you. Don't go anywhere. I'm almost done. Keith Ellison just finished doing a press conference, arrest of 4 officers, and he's taking questions. We're going to be getting into that more. So make sure you're subscribed to flynubianqueen.com. Make sure that you are subscribed to our flynubianqueen.com on Facebook, as well as here on flynubianqueentv.com. Our shows are showed throughout, and I'm going to continuously be giving you the latest and perspective, not just me, but the other queens as well. Listen. CNN anchor Don Lemon has called out celebrities, including Ellen DeGeneres and Oprah Winfrey. In an impassioned speech, Lemon called for Hollywood's elite and the wealthiest people in the world to speak up, quote, for these young people who have put themselves on the line, and urged them to have to stop worrying about your reputation and your brand. Don Lemonade told Oprah to stop worrying about your little crusty, rusty, dusty brand. Lemon said prominent Hollywood figures have been, quote, strangely silent, and revealed that a number of unnamed individuals had declined to appear on CNN to talk about ongoing protests. We call you sellouts. We call you traitors. Guess who else he called out? Somebody I called out before he called them out. Y'all want to hear? Y'all want to hear? Don Lemon said, I want to see you, Tracy Ellis Ross. I want to see you, Tyler Perry. I want to see you, Drake. I want to see you, my friend Anthony Anderson. I love you. I want to see you, Diddy, out there. How many of y'all know I did a show talking about Diddy and Tyler Perry? How many of y'all remember I told you I was upset that Van Jones, Tyler Perry, and Diddy called Snoop Dogg and told Snoop to apologize to Kel? You guys got to understand that when I'm coming to you with something, I'm giving you also perceptive and prophetic knowledge. It's on target. Everybody else is just now showing up to the black party that we've been at. Welcome to the party. You know you bad that at the height of war, at a time when America is on fire, dozens and dozens and dozens of cities are on fire, and you've got people around the world that's protested, thousands of folks showing up in Amsterdam and in London and other places around the world in solidarity with us, and you got folks sitting they funny looking self here in America, black, thinking they done made it. They're so disconnected to the black grassroots that they ain't got nothing to say. Shout out to you, Tanya, for your $50 gift. I bless it 1,000-fold. Every one of you that have been given, I don't care what your size is, I bless it. So don't tell me Vicky is missing it. The black news show you're watching now, it ain't your MSNBC, ABC, CBS, Fox News. Baby, I'm speaking to you in the 3D and the 5D. I'm speaking to you in more than one way, because black folks, we're more than what meets the eye. And the way we do it is the way it ought to be done. Don't you come on this show and want to know why I'm not pristine and talking in certain tones and looking like white folks that you see on these white networks that don't even want to tell your stories. And when they do, they stereotype you and they help to set the environments for your murder. We're the original people of the planet. The way we do stuff is the way stuff ought to be done. Thumbs up, black family. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like, be sure to share. I'm glad he's calling them out. But the Vicky show is calling those particular ones specifically out for some time now. Not only me, other conscious black media voices. And so Oprah and Gayle decided to be shamed into saying something. Don Lemon said enough is enough. The work started with us first, though. Before this article was written, he talked about how folks were texting him talking about they can't believe what happens in America. So clearly he's been making it clear to some of them that they ought to say something and do something. Don't get it twisted. Some of what they're doing right now is so that they can save face. Whatever their motivation, they need to be using their voice. In war, when the records are written, Black family, and I'm done. When the records are written, it will read that Oprah and Gayle were cowards and became traitors to the Black struggle when they had a platform and when they had access to the most powerful heads of states, politicians, former presidents, business owners, entertainment industry individuals, access that some of us may never have. They chose to be cowards and to be traitors to their own people. But when the records are written, they'll say it's somebody that's considered to be a nobody, a Vicky who did time in a federal facility in Texas for years, who was a voice after being targeted for her activism, who behind the scenes was challenging high-level entities, governmental officials, snitches and snakes. She was a voice sounding the alarm against some of the highest operating in the system of white supremacy. After all that, and with the medical issue for which she's often restricted, she says she's going to use her laptop that was given to her and her cell phone and see what she can do. A door opened, an email was written asking for contributors on Fly Nubian Queen. I responded to it. And here we are. Thank you, Black Fate Master, for your gift and your kind words. When the records are written, it's going to say the people rose up and they gave their dollars and cents. They used their feet and their hands and they started to build one brick at a time. And their collective voice shifted atmospheres, changed climates, shattered glass ceilings. We are world shakers and history makers. Black family, we are our own answer. Ain't nobody coming to save us but us. It's a new day. It's difficult, Black family, but don't forget what I said. It's bloodshed, it's pain. But those are the same things that attend a mother that's getting ready to give birth. We're giving birth to a new world based on freedom, justice, and equality. Don't you dare miss another Vicky show. God willing, I'll be here tomorrow, same time, same place. If I go early some other time during the week, Black family, just continue to tune in. I'm not the only voice. Other queens are going to be here. I think Jade Arundel's supposed to be coming on sometime tomorrow here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com. Other queens, too many names that I can't even remember them all because there's so many of them now, family. Don't forget to stay tuned in. Follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard. Follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard. Text the word Queens to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications. Hit that notification bell. Subscribe. Don't you miss a Vicky show. I'm here weekdays. I also speak on other platforms. You can get more information about that on my Instagram page at Vicky X Dillard. Follow me on Twitter at Dillard Vicky. I came to you in peace. I leave you in peace. I want you to know that I love you. I want you to know that every one of you that gave, I bless your gift. Every one of you that didn't give, if you commented, thank you. If you say talk black to me, thank you. If you gave a thumbs up or a thumbs down, thank you. If you didn't do none of that, I want to thank you for tuning in. It is a privilege and it is an extreme honor to serve you. It is my bliss. Mwah.